line right now?
Yeah, so the old guy right now, came fast, but as of right now, yeah, try to do my best.
How does that change your role approach?
Obviously, the only thing it really does, I just want to be more vocal. I've never been really the most vocal guy around here, but as you get older, it's kind of your job to, lead by example and also lead vocally too. So just trying to be a little more vocal.
You're obviously the leader of the offensive line, but what is a guy like Jeff Percy, who's part of a national championship team? Is there anything that he's brought to the group that you feel like has helped you guys?
Obviously, just experience, older guy, and like you said, he came from Michigan, who's been one of the top O-lines for the past 2-3 years. So from what he's learned from, their coach down there and the top O-line guys that were at Michigan, so he just brings in a lot of experience and a different view from a different school. So.
Last year media day, you said you had lost some weight. Have you lost any more?
Yeah, I'm the lightest I've been since like my junior year of high school. So I've really trying to hone in on my body.
What do you weigh?
I'm down to like 319 right now, so I'm just trying to thin down. Obviously, different style of offense. So.
You felt a little different out on the field now that you're down to 319?
Yeah, I feel great. I feel a lot more in shape and a little more agile, so I definitely feel a difference.
Ryan, obviously last year with Kate, it was a whole new offense style, completely different than what you guys were doing. How different is it this year now that you guys, so many of you have been through it, understand it, and as you were mentioning, kind of know the body type you need to be?
Yeah, I think it's going to help a lot more with development. Spring is a time where you want to develop. It's not that like you're not preparing for other teams' defenses. It's just you and your defense going at it every day. So now that we know the offense, it's not more of a learning phase. It's us going out and developing and get better. So now we can take this spring to really develop ourselves into the offense that we've been doing for a year, which I think will help us out a lot. So.
Ryan, is there a specific spot you're working at right now?
I'm back at right tackle right now.
So. Right tackle, is that where you feel most comfortable?
Yeah, I feel a lot better at right tackle, but obviously I want to be able to play both just in case like anything happens like last year. But right now I'm at right.
What can you say about some of the new guys that are coming? We always have a person that Stanley, Baer, some of those guys. What do you see?
They've came in, they fit in right away. It's not like they came in and they were like outcasts because they were new. It's like that's one thing I noticed is like we kind of created a bond right away. As soon as they got here, we started doing O-line dinners, hanging out a little bit, so we got to know them and their background, where they came from. And Kendall is athletic. I would say that he's a little leaner, but he can move and he's still strong. And Keith is just like that tough interior guard that you want. So I'm really excited for all three of the guys that we brought in. They looked really good. So.
What about Eli? Compare where he is right now to like a year ago this time after 2 spring practices. How different is it?
I think he's a lot better as a leader because he's been around the guys more. He's been a little more vocal, especially with what his standard is the offense. The quarterback, sometimes he has to tell people the way it is. He can't be everyone's best friend, and I've seen that from him, out there leading. Sometimes you have to get into people a little bit, and that's what I like to see. And obviously his game's stepping up too as, he's getting back into it. But
What about Julian in that bowl game?
He's tough, and he can move too. He helped us out a lot. Obviously, we had our struggles, so just seeing the way he can move, and he was, he wasn't avoiding people. He's putting his shoulder into people, and he was making some really good throws too. So as a young guy being thrown in like that, I think he proved to a lot of people that he deserves to be here for sure. So.
Considering how last season ended, do you see an increase in intensity in practices?
Yeah. We're not in pads yet, but even just being in spiders, like the O-line, D-line, we've been battling. And that's good. That's what we need. Obviously, starting out 7-0 last year and finishing the way we did is just unacceptable. So we need to change something up. And I think we're on the right foot right now. We've had 2 really good practices. So.
But along those lines, the last 2.5 months since that bowl game, like when you talk to teammates, you guys, in the building or even outside the building, like, what do you guys talk about of what that was like you just say, going from 7-0 to 7-6, and kind of what happened last season?
It was embarrassing, really. Obviously injuries are, you don't make excuses. You have injuries, stuff happens. Everyone around the country has injuries. You need to be able to step up, next man up, and we just didn't. We didn't really step up. Especially as O-line, we played horrible. It is what it is. I didn't play great. We didn't play great as a unit, so you just got to turn it around. It's in the past now. You just got to use it as fuel.
Do you have to be a leader?
I guess, yeah. I'm gonna try my best. Like I said, just be a little more vocal. I'm not used to it, but I'm gonna try. But I don't know. I guess, yeah. Doesn't really mean anything. Just be the same person every day.
Who are the guys over the last 2 or 3 years you kind of have learned from about how to lead, by example?
Yeah. O-line wise, just the guys we've had have been outstanding. Seeing Matt come up as, he was behind Gabe Hoy and Carter, and then, when it was time, seeing the way that he led us, and then when he got hurt, seeing how we kind of struggled without him, and then even Branson, he wasn't really the most vocal guy, but when he knew it was his time, he started really making a name for himself, and that's how he ended up being a captain, because a lot of people ended up supporting him. And then I wasn't here with Kenny, but I was around when he was getting ready for his pro day and stuff, and just meeting him, just seeing what it means to be a leader and the respect that you gain. You have to earn to be a leader. You can't force yourself to be one. You have to earn that respect. So I'm not going to force anything. If people see me as a leader, then I'll lead, but you have to earn it.
What have you learned about Coach Baer now being under him for a whole year?
He has a standard, and if you don't play that standard, then it just, you gotta play to it, I guess. He's also really good, not a player's coach, but he can relate to us. He did what we're doing. He played O-line at Louisville, so he makes it relatable because he's done it, and he's really fun to be around. He makes it fun to be here, so I'm excited for another year with him.
You mentioned Kenny. It just made me think. What did you think when you saw he signed Cleveland?
I don't know, man. I hope he gets a chance over there, but we'll see how it goes.
Anything else? Thanks for
All right, thank y'all. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
How's it feel?
Honestly, it's still kind of crazy to me. You ain't settle in. I feel like I just got here, but no, and I've been here 5 years, going on my 5th year. So, it's also good to be an old guy. Good to share my knowledge with the young guys. Even the freshmen just came in, try to give them as much knowledge as I can, because the old guys I had in front of me, they did the same thing. So I feel like it's only right to get my knowledge down, and never lie.
What's some advice you give to the young guys?
With the DBs, I tell them a lot of time about the technique, angles, and I tell them how to approach every day at practice. Every day obviously is not. Some days you're gonna get beat. It's just some days how it is. Playing man a lot in this defense. So it's about mindset. I tell them to keep the same mindset. If it's a great day, if it's a bad day, if it's an okay day, come with the same mindset. Never too high, never too low.
Who have you seen? How have you seen Cruz and Coach mentioned Jesse Anderson? How have you seen those guys kind of battling out for the spot next to you to take Donovan's place?
Cruz and Jesse, they're having a great first 2-day practices. First 2-day practice is really just playing fast, playing mentally sharp. They're both doing that, and they're both playing at a high level right now. And they're going to continue to get better, continue to compete throughout the spring. So, it's going to be good to see the battles and see the plays they make throughout the rest of the spring.
What has it been like having Kavir so far in this program? What have you seen from him?
Kavir, he's really smart. He's a very smart and savvy football player. I can say that a lot. He's very smart. You could tell he was coached right at his last school. I don't know exactly what his last school was, but I know he was coached well, and he transferred that over to Pitt. He's a really good player. He's gonna make some big time plays.
Are there any other new guys, not necessarily in the DB room, that pop out to you?
I worry about the DB, to be honest, but I know all the freshman DBs, they came in. Josh, Sean, both Seans? In fact, Kavir, obviously. All them came in. They made plays already. They're understanding the game plan, understanding the installs, and that's good. That's all you really want from new guys coming in, to understand the game plan, understand the install. Because once you do that, you're gonna play faster as time comes on anyway.
Over the years, there's been some high-profile safeties that come out of this program.
Is there?
You follow those guys, and you have a chance to talk to them at all about what it means to be a safety at Pitt?
Yeah, I talked to obviously being younger under Eric, being younger under Brandon Hill, DeMar Hamlin, Paris Ford. I talked to all 4 of them guys about what's the things that made them successful, what's the things that they wish they could redo and be better at, and they gave me steps. They're giving me steps every time I ask, and I don't hesitate to ask them guys at all, because I know they're one phone call away, and they're always going to answer my phone. So I always ask them for steps and guidance every time.
How last year ended impact how you guys are approaching this year?
The approach is just to finish. We know we're a good team. We have good players. we can beat any team we set our mind to if we play a great game. But the focus is on winning the inches, because when you lose the inches, you ultimately going to lose the game. And that's what we feel like we did the last 7 games of the season. We lost the inches. We made us lose the game. So focus on is winning them inches, winning each moment, and never taking two moment lightly or too big, and just playing through the game and finishing.
What about your own game? What are some of the things you've been trying to focus on this offseason, heading to spring camp? What are some of those things?
For me, personally, it's mostly coverage, mental aspect, knowing what's going to happen, knowing what's going to attack me. Because a lot of times I feel safety. If you know what's going to happen, you're going to make the play even before. That's what D. Ham, Eric Haller, they were really smart guys. You know, they made the play before the play even started, just knowing what's going to happen. That's why I asked them a lot, too. Because they told me a mental game, it's a lot of mental game. And also, just running full speed on my tackles, making splash tackles, like no slowing down, no choppy steps, just run full speed and make a person react to me, not me react off them.
What's your body feel like after a 6 overtime game?
Crazy. I can't even explain it to you. It's worse than any other game. It's like 2 games put to 1. So that's one of them games you just got to sit back. You take a little longer to get dressed, take a little longer to get in the shower and stuff. You just sit back, get some ice on your body, you know. It's one of them games.
When did you start feeling better after that game?
Probably like 2 more days after that. You know, I just sat back, you know, because we went back home after the bowl game, so I just rested, give my body a little rest after a long season, you know. Sometimes you just need that rest, mental break, physical break. So like 2 days after that, my body started to feel better again, back to normal.
What are the emotions like, the conversations with your teammate?
Yeah.
Like I asked Ryan, like here in the building and outside the building, as you guys were talking about that game and just the 6 games, you know, losing in a row after all.
Yeah, it's always emotional, you know, when you lose, even just one game, but especially 6 games in a row. That's a very emotional time. But at the same time, it was talks about being a stronger brotherhood, because, you know, losing 6 games, that could divide the brotherhood. But it's talk about coming together stronger. When you lose 6, you got to find a way to keep getting stronger and stronger as a brotherhood, so you can prevail and overcome the obstacles we got.
What did you guys find out about that as you were going through it, like in November last year?
We just found out how tough we are and how we can stick together and get through anything. You know, like even through bad times, we know it's going to be work that we got to put in, and with us together, we can get through anything. So just never doubt each other.
Javon, how would you describe the difference facing the offense now with Eli, they've had a year, as opposed to remembering what it was like when practicing against them last year?
I guess I'll say it's more like upbeat, uptight. Because, you know, last year they was trying to get everybody was learning the playbook. Eli, the first receivers, Tay, Konate, Muffet, all of them. They was learning. Now the guys, Eli, they know the playbook. They coming just like us. We know our playbook. So now it's just more fast-paced. We hit the ground running from day one instead of from last year. Now they learn the playbooks a little slower. So now it's just hit the ground running. Let's compete.
As someone who's in the defensive back room, what can you sort of say about Mason Alexander, the type of person he was, some of the interactions you had with him?
Through the short time Mason was here, it was 2 months. You know, he was a great young man. I can say that. He brought a lot of energy every day. He was the same person, like high energy. You remember PJ? Y'all remember PJ? Energized person, like high energy, great person, great young man. It's sad to hear when I got that news. It was real sad and devastating. But I wish his family the best, and I know he's in a better place now with God, for sure.
Anything else?
Thank you.
How being one of the leaders of the team, what are some of the approaches you guys are taking to try to erase the feelings you felt again last year?
It's definitely just lead by example, you know. If you got some credibility to you, then you're going to listen. So, you know, just do what you're supposed to, and then just take the extra mile, too. You know, just bring people with you, you know. That's definitely what all my strength coach and everybody just keep telling me, like, you know, you set the standard, so you can't just be the standard. Like, you got to be way more than that. And that's how you're going to bring everybody up. You're going to keep pushing people through that.
Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I always did that. You know, that's just me naturally. That's me being me. So ain't nothing really, like, new to what I'm doing right now. It's just I'm putting the spotlight now, so ain't nothing.
Was that something like Coach Narduzzi said to you, like, hey, you did this, you had this season, you got these accolades, like, guys are going to look up to you, they're going to listen to you, you need to take on that role?
Yeah, that's what every coach been telling me, you know. So obviously, you know, that's the obvious. So we already know what that was going to be expected of us. Now it's just time to, like, you know, time now to execute.
Set the bar pretty high, obviously, with an All-American season. I mean, how do you even improve on that heading into this year?
I had many missed assignments. I had many missed tackles. I had many screw ups. So I could easily double the season if I wanted to. It's all about how I just keep cleaning up my little plays. So it ain't like through my eyes, I ain't really feel like I had craziest season that I really could have had. Obviously I probably had a craziest season like the beginning, like first like 7, 8, 9 weeks, but after that my production definitely fell off. So I gotta be more consistent and everything around there. Just keep being consistent through the little plays and everything else.
Will offense pay more attention to you later in the season?
Yeah, that's for sure. And it's going to be like that this season too, and I'm definitely prepared for that. So I'm already knowing what the offensive coordinator probably thinking of, just like how Cade Bell, preparing for me throughout this spring, throughout this fall. It's going to be the same thing for during the season. So I'm definitely already preparing for that.
Was there anything you did different in leading up to last season that you think that you can attribute why you had such a big season and made that big leap last year?
I was just working hard, so the only thing to do now is just work harder, just put more time in the field, put more time in the weight room, put more time in the film.
Well, you have so many back from that position group. What's it like in that room? What are those conversations like? Give us an idea what that room is like.
I love my room. Like we all come together. It's all like heart to heart. When we talk, we could talk football, we could talk life. So those are all my brothers. We ain't really always talking football. We really just be joking around with each other for real. But when it's time to lock in, when it's time to push each other, we push each other. So that definitely like is a big impact on how like you could push somebody get better. By reaching out for their heart, like seeing what they care about, knowing what they care about is gonna help them push each other. When it's time for adversity and we got nothing but each other next to each other, that's how we gonna rely on each other.
You, Rasheem, and Braylon all sort of broke out as sophomores. There's a couple redshirt freshmen on the team, a couple sophomores. Who are maybe some of the guys that we can see also breaking out as they grow into another year?
Obviously, outside of our linebacker room, you got Javon. He definitely going to be a standout player. He definitely going to make a name for himself, so definitely watch out for him. And then right after that, I say Jeremiah Marshallin. Next up, Mike. He definitely going to make crazy noise. Like already from his true freshman year, he was almost like the hype man for our linebacker group, the Sharks. So, he definitely going to be on that field making noise. Y'all definitely going to hear a name from him.
Anything else?
Appreciate y'all.